Nobody announced it. There was no single moment, no dramatic event, no news cycle that captured it clearly. It happened slowly, quietly, the way a tide goes out. A young man stops showing up to class and nobody follows up. Another leaves his job and does not look for another one. Another stops calling his friends, stops leaving his apartment, stops participating in anything that requires him to show up and be seen. Multiply that by millions. Across every Western nation, in every age bracket from teenage boys to men in their 30s and 40s, the data is showing the same thing. Men are disengaging from education, from work, from relationships, from society itself. And the most alarming part is not the scale of it, it is how quiet it has been. The statistics are not hidden, they are simply not being discussed with the seriousness they deserve. In the United States, women now earn approximately 60% of all college degrees. That gap has been widening consistently for over 3 decades and shows no sign of reversing. Male high school graduation rates trail female rates in nearly every developed nation. In the UK, boys are significantly behind girls at every stage of formal education, from primary school through university. In the workforce, the percentage of prime-age men between 25 and 54 who are neither working nor looking for work has tripled since the 1960s in the United States alone. Millions of men in their most productive years have simply exited the formal economy entirely. Socially, the picture is equally stark. Studies on male friendship consistently show that the number of men reporting 0 close friends has increased 5-fold since 1990. A third of men under 30 report being in no romantic relationship whatsoever, a figure that has doubled in under a decade. These are not fringe statistics, these are mainstream data points from mainstream institutions. Something is measurably happening, and it is accelerating. There is no single cause, but there are several forces converging simultaneously that together create the conditions for mass male disengagement. The first is the collapse of legible pathways. For most of human history, men have had clear, socially recognized paths that told them what success looked like and how to get there. Apprenticeships, military service, trade guilds, community roles. These structures gave men not just employment but identity, belonging, and a sense of being needed. Most of those structures no longer exist in their traditional form, and nothing has cleanly replaced them. The result is a generation of men standing at the beginning of adulthood with no clear map and no obvious tribe to belong to. The second force is technological displacement of the male drive for challenge and mastery. The male brain has a particularly strong response to challenge, competition, and the reward of mastery. For most of history, that drive was channeled into activities that built something in the real world. Today, that same neurological drive is being fully satisfied by video games, pornography, and social media at a fraction of the cost and effort of real-world achievement. The brain gets the reward signal without the real-world result, and over time the appetite for genuine challenge quietly atrophies. The third force is the absence of older men actively bringing younger men into adulthood. Every traditional society had formal and informal structures of male mentorship and initiation, older men deliberately passing something to younger men. That transmission has largely collapsed in the modern world, leaving younger men to figure out what it means to be a man using the internet as their only guide. Beneath the statistics and the sociological forces, there is a psychological reality that almost never gets named directly. Men disengage when they do not believe their participation matters, not when life is hard. Men have historically thrived under conditions of extreme hardship, when that hardship was connected to a purpose they believed in. They disengage when the effort feels pointless, when they look at the available paths and conclude that none of them lead anywhere worth going. When they receive consistent signals from institutions, from culture, from their immediate environment that their presence is unnecessary or unwelcome. The psychologist Martin Seligman spent decades studying a phenomenon he called learned helplessness, the condition that develops when a person or animal receives repeated signals that their actions have no effect on their outcomes. The response is not anger, it is not rebellion, it is withdrawal, quiet, passive, total withdrawal. This is the psychological signature of the male disengagement crisis, not rage, not defiance, just a quiet decision that the game is not worth playing. If you are watching this video, there is a reasonable chance that some part of what has been described here resonates with something you have felt yourself. A pull toward withdrawal. A question about whether effort is worth it. A difficulty finding a path that feels genuinely worth walking. Here is what the men who do not disappear have in common. They build their sense of purpose from the inside out rather than waiting for the outside world to hand it to them. They stop asking whether the culture values what they are building and start asking whether what they are building is genuinely worth valuing. They find or create a tribe of men who hold each other to a standard, not perfectly, not without conflict, but consistently, honestly, and with genuine investment in each other's growth. And they choose a direction, any meaningful direction, and begin moving in it before they feel fully ready, because the feeling of purpose does not precede the movement toward it, it follows. The men disappearing from society are waiting for a signal from the outside world that their presence matters. The men who build something are the ones who decided that their presence mattered before anyone else confirmed it. The decision is available to any man, including you, right now. The tide goes out quietly, but it also comes back in. Every generation of men that has faced a moment of civilizational confusion has produced within it a smaller group of men who refused the drift, who chose direction over comfort, who built something real in the middle of a culture that had stopped believing real things could be built. Those men did not wait for the culture to fix itself before they began. They began. And in beginning, they became the thing the culture eventually organized itself around. You are not required to save anyone. You are only required to refuse to disappear. Start there.